Ciao guys, my name is Marco Manzilla. Welcome to the I Am Catholic YouTube channel. Welcome to the I Am Catholic project. We're going to be talking about what your reaction, possible reaction could be in this really difficult time. The first thing I want to mention is I do appreciate the gravity of the situation. This is a terrible, terrible virus that is causing havoc all around the world. We cannot let this virus win. How does the virus win? The virus wins when we lose our humanity. Australia saw a rush for toilet paper. In Britain, in everywhere around the world, we have food runs. There's been panic buying. I've seen horrendous moments where people are like fighting with each other just to get toilet paper. These are examples of where we're starting to lose our humanity because of the fear surrounding us right now. That fear is so deadly. It's almost as deadly as the virus itself. The point of this video is, as Catholics, we are called to spread God's hope and God's light in the times most darkest, because that's when He gives us the most grace. So that's what this video is going to be about. Ways to make this situation a little bit better for some and for others, just to get through this difficult moment. There's been a lot of fake news surrounding the virus recently. Not to say that it isn't worthy of the news that it's receiving, but I do think that this virus has taken so much attention off of so many other things, because this is the immediate fear. We've forgotten that there's the problems that existed before the virus came along still exist. We're leaning away from humanity in the sense that now I'm pushing you away because I need to look after myself. I need to make sure that I am safe, and we've almost lost our ability to be a brother or sister to the person next to us because we're scared that they might be the person that infects us. Again, I want to say that doesn't mean that the virus is not serious. If we can prevent the spread of the virus in any way we possibly can, then it's a good idea to do that. The big thing that we're getting is the idea of social distancing. So trying to put space between yourself and the next person so that you are less likely to pick up the virus. So the first thing that I want to talk about is our desperate need to pray. We need to be praying right now. In this moment of darkness, it's God that's going to get us through. It's not going to be ourselves. We really need miracles. We really need God's intervention. So pray for God's will to be done right now. I think that He ultimately has the best plan for everything that's going on. Let's trust that He has this covered. Number 2, pray for yourselves. Pray for who you are, where you are. Pray that you may keep the faith. Pray that you may remain strong in this difficult moment. Pray that the people around you may be safe, may be protected, that God may shine His light upon them. Number 3, we need to be praying for the people that have passed away. I think the virus has claimed something like 7,000 deaths. I think if it's not there, it's going to be there soon. In the panic and the fear that's just surrounding us right now, we aren't praying for these souls that have departed. For the souls of the faithfully departed, through the mercy of God, may they rest in peace. 4, we need to pray for the incredibly brave healthcare workers that are currently doing the most that they possibly can to save the lives that they possibly can. I saw this article by this nurse in Italy, in northern Italy. This lady took off her mask and she was trying to give like a face-to-face video, and you could see the bruises because of the masks that she's been wearing. You could see the tiredness, just the absolute fatigue on her face. Incredibly brave nurses, doctors, and medical practitioners in whatever form they may be. We value your bravery. We value your sacrifice. Thank you so much. They need our prayers. They need our help more than anyone right now, I think. The next thing I want to talk about is our call to obedience. There's going to be certain calls that are going to be made which are going to be very, very difficult for us to comply with. I am expecting that the situation is going to get much worse, and I do think that it's realistic to understand that in the future, in South Africa at least, we may be a lockdown may be implemented. We may be forced to self-isolate within our homes, within our residences, whatever it may be. This is something that we need to expect. More specifically in the church, there's going to be a maximum of, I think, 100 people per mass. That's what the bishops have allowed for. The reality of the situation is going to be that some people are not going to be able to get to mass. And some people who are sick have been asked to avoid mass. You're not being unfaithful in not going to mass, it's an act of faith to trust in our bishops and the call that they've made, and in our government and our authorities. That is an act of faith in itself. We need to be able to humble our pride, to humble ourselves, to kind of just sit down for this moment in order to hopefully prevent future catastrophe. 1 Peter 5:7 says, humble yourselves now, then under God's mighty hand, that he may raise us up in his own good time. I do think that this is going to pass and we're going to be raised up. But for now, our call is to obedience, to humility, to listening to our authorities that surround us, whether that be priests, bishops, or government officials. We are still in this incredible period of Lent. We have done such a big job of panicking and spreading the news of the virus that we've completely forgotten that we're in this wonderful, wonderful season of Lent. Return to those 3 disciplines of Lent: prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. I've already mentioned prayer. For fasting, let's maybe double down on our fast. The Catholic Church sets out that if you are sick, there is no obligation to fast, even in Lent. So if you are sick, don't feel obliged to continue with your fast if it's going to do damage to your health. If you aren't sick, maybe now's a very good time to almost double down on your fast for the people that aren't able to fast themselves. Increase the value or the degree of your fast, or take on something extra for the rest of this period of Lent, so that you're fasting for someone else. If you failed in your fast, don't use the virus as a reason to give up if you aren't affected by the virus directly. Get back up and continue. Don't stay down. Don't stay down. You're still in this wonderful period of Lent. Get back up and be strong. If not for yourself, then do it for someone else. The third and final one is almsgiving. I mentioned now that in this time of fear, we've distanced ourselves from each other, which is not a bad thing in terms of spreading the virus, but it is a bad thing in terms of people need our help. The poor in our area still go hungry. There's so much need and there's so much desperation apart from the virus that we've almost forgotten about now because of the fear of the virus. Now is not a good time to distance ourselves in that way. In fact, now's a good time to almost, if you're going to the mall to buy something for yourself, maybe buy 2 things and then donate 1 in whatever way you possibly can. Try and limit yourselves in terms of social distancing. So maybe do something like a food drop, or donate to organizations that are already setting up programs to deal with the coronavirus. I know that the Red Cross is doing things like this. Your local St. Vincent de Paul Society in your parish could be doing something similar as well. Try and find out how you can help in whichever way you possibly can help. Don't run from God. Now is not the time to run away from him. Now is the time to run headfirst towards him. In times of most darkness, that's when God gives us the most graces to shine his light, or in some instances, to be his light for the people that need to see him right now. Do your best to spread a message of hope and positivity in this time of just overwhelming negativity. Try and give someone a reason to smile every day. Chat to someone that you haven't talked to in a long time. Check up on them. Visit a family member. Visit the elderly. I'm going to post a couple of suggestions, incredible suggestions that I've seen up on the screen. If they go too fast, if the picture goes too fast, maybe just pause the video and look at it, so that you can kind of, so you have an idea of what you can possibly do in this time. Like, read that book that you've been putting off forever. Hang out with your animal. Hang out with your family. Talk to your parents. Follow Mass online. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of Masses that are being streamed live all around the world. Now's a really good time to kind of return to God. Like, sit down, meditate, focus, pray. Now's a good time when there's nothing going on around you to just pray. We've done such a bad job of living out God in this world. Maybe this was also a good opportunity that we can have to almost pause, reset, realign our priorities. Remember that work is not the most important thing in this world. Family, people, our relationships, and our relationship with God are vital. Look after yourselves, look after your family. Implement social distancing. We'll call it Catholic social distancing, so that you aren't distancing yourselves from your humanity either. do your best to try and be positive, to spread hope. Stay safe, spread the love. I'm Catholic, I'm proud of it, I hope that you are too. May the Lord bless you. And I'll chat to you guys soon.